What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Keaton, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Link is in the box below. You guys see the title, Patriots and Bill Belichick parting ways after 24 seasons. You guys know I'm a Patriots fan, diehard Patriots fan. I really appreciate what Bill Belichick has done for this organization the past 24 seasons. For him to be with one organization and accomplishing what he's accomplished here, it's just nothing else like it. I mean, like I said, you know, I'm very lucky as a fan to be able to experience all the Super Bowls that we've won, the dynasty that the Patriots have created, and stuff like that. Not a lot of fans are able to experience that. And like I said, I don't take anything for granted. This is a once in a lifetime thing. There will never be another dynasty like this again. And like I said, I'm very lucky to be a part of it. And like I said, this is what's best for the Patriots going forward. And I wish nothing but the best for Bill Belichick wherever he goes. So let's continue to move on here. Some of Bill Belichick's career accomplishments: 6 Super Bowl wins, most by any coach in NFL history. Two-time Super Bowl champion as defensive coordinator with the New York Giants in 1986, 1990. 31 playoff wins, most in NFL history. 17 division titles, most by any head coach. 11 consecutive division titles from 2009 to 2019, longest streak by any head coach. Most winning coach in NFL history with 225 regular season wins. And of course, I have to get into some of the negatives with the Patriots and Bill Belichick. So, Patriots' record over the last 5 seasons. So, let's start with 2019. So, this was Tom Brady's last year in New England before he ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, the Patriots in 2019 went 12-4. I remember as a fan, the last game of the regular season was against the Dolphins at home. That game was huge because the Patriots would have won that game, they would have had the number 1 seed and a first round bye. And the Dolphins ended up upsetting them. And the Dolphins were 4-11 in that game. They were bad that year. They ended up beating the Patriots 27-24 in New England, which took the Patriots out of getting the first round bye. The Patriots were a 3 seed that year, and they ended up playing the Titans in the first round, and they ended up losing 20-13, which basically ended the longest dynasty. And stuff like that. So, that basically started the downfall for the Patriots ever since Tom Brady left. 2020, the year after Tom Brady left, this is the year we had Cam Newton as quarterback. Cam Newton had a pretty solid 3-4 games, first 3-4 games of the regular season. He was actually playing at an MVP level through those 4 games before he got COVID, and eventually, ever since he had COVID, he has not been the same quarterback, and then the Patriots obviously fell apart towards the end of the year there. And that was basically Cam Newton's last year in New England. 2021, this is the year we bought in Mac Jones with the 15th overall pick. Some fans obviously thought Cam Newton was going to be the guy going into the regular season. That wasn't the case. They ended up cutting Cam, and they ended up drafting Mac Jones with that 15th overall pick. As a fan, I was pretty excited. Getting Mac Jones, I thought obviously the year he had in Alabama winning the national championship, I thought he had all the potential in the world to be something special in this league. I was pretty excited for him coming into the Patriots. Obviously, I thought he was the right fit for this team. You saw in his rookie year, he had a stellar rookie year, going 10-7, making the playoffs, sneaking in as a 7th seed, before eventually getting blown out by the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round, 47-17. Just not a good way to go into the playoffs. Obviously, I thought we had a chance to make it competitive, but that just wasn't the case. But like I said, it doesn't take away from what Mac Jones did that year. He had a pretty solid rookie season. And Patriots eventually, that year, they were the number 1 seed. After 13 games, we were 9-4. I remember we beat the Bills in Buffalo after that snowy game. That eventually put us at the number 1 seed. Then we went to Indianapolis, and then we lost to Colts by a few points. And then we had a home game against the Buffalo Bills. They got us back there, winning by 12 points, 33-21, which eventually that just put the game over. The game was over there. I mean, we lost the division there. Obviously, we had to beat the Bills in order to put some separation from them in the division. They obviously got it done. Buffalo ended up winning the division there. So that was the 2021 season. And the 2022 season here, you know, a rookie quarterback after them having a good rookie season, the way Mac Jones had. Like I said, he had a good rookie season. What's the most important thing for a rookie quarterback after he had a good rookie season there? His second year is the most important in terms of the development of the quarterback, right? So the Patriots after the 2021 season lost Josh McDaniels to the Raiders. Obviously, he was one of the head coaching position with the Raiders. So we lost him. So what does Bill Belichick decide to do the very next year? Bring in Matt Patricia, who knows nothing with offense. A defensive minded coach. You bring in Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to run an offense. And that basically ruined Mac's development. Like I said, after a stellar rookie season Mac Jones had, I expected the Patriots to be better record wise and Mac Jones to take a leap in the second year. And that just didn't happen because Bill Belichick, like I said, there were times where he had too much of an ego when it came to personnel decisions. You didn't give Mac Jones the help that he needed. Now, I'm not just talking about with the coordinator, obviously. I'm talking about overall talent. You didn't surround Mac Jones with any pieces, basically, in his second year. You see Mac Jones, Patriots fans out there know this. You see Mac Jones in every game last year. He was clearly frustrated with the play calling with this Patriots team, with Matt Patricia. And even as a fan, it was kind of hard to watch his team at times because I'm like, well, Matt Patricia's going to call a screen every other play. And it was just frustrating because it's like, we needed some explosive plays down the field. It was like Matt Patricia was scared to open the playbook up for the Patriots and Mac Jones. Like I said, Mac Jones was clearly frustrated with the play calling during the 2022 season. And that had a lot to do with Bill Belichick. Like I said, his inability to draft properly, his inability to put together an offense. Like I said, we're in a loaded AFC. You got teams like the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, all these high-powered offenses. Patriots are nowhere near that because Bill Belichick has failed to put a roster together and put the necessary talent around Mac Jones to be successful. You look at Mac Jones, like I said, he needs everything to go right for him to be a successful quarterback. He needs the receivers around him. He needs an offensive line. He needs the offensive coordinator. He always needs somebody in his ear. If he doesn't have any of that, he's not going to be a successful quarterback. And that's basically what happened to him. He took a step back in his second year after having a stellar rookie season. Now, some of you guys can say, "Oh, well, that's on Mac Jones." Well, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick created this roster. Bill Belichick was the one who brought in Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to run an offense when they know nothing about offense. You have two defensive-minded coaches trying to put together a game plan offensively and just didn't work out. That's all Bill Belichick. So, like I said, that's what happened that year. Patriots took a big step back that season. You look at the 2021 season, like I said, if you look at the stats of the Patriots, they were pretty much in top 10 in every statistical category. Run game, passing game, all that stuff. They were basically in the top 15 in most categories. And then the 2022 season, we were pretty much towards the bottom of the league in everything. Offensively, we were dead last in the red zone. We run game was pretty solid. Defense obviously was pretty solid there. But then, like I said, just overall offense, we were one of the worst in the league in 2022. That's because all the reasons I said, Bill Belichick, the decision making that he's made with this team has cost this team in a negative way. Period. And it's just that simple to me. That's why the Patriots ended up missing the playoffs that year. After I thought the Patriots would extend and be better, and they just didn't do that. So that's what happened that year. 2023 season, obviously, you see the record, 4-13, missing the playoffs. I was dead wrong about this season. At the beginning of the year, you guys see my season prediction. I thought the Patriots would win 10 games. I really thought, after, getting rid of Matt Patricia last year, bringing in Bill O'Brien, who pretty much knows and is familiar with the organization, I was actually pretty excited for him to be the offensive coordinator. And it just didn't happen for us this year. I mean, like I said, if you look at the Patriots' first 4 games of this season, we had the hardest first 4 games out of any team in the league. We played the Philadelphia Eagles week 1. We lost 25-20 there. Week 2, we played the Miami Dolphins at home. So we basically had back-to-back home games in the first 2 weeks. Miami Dolphins in week 2. Could have won that game if some things went our way. Um, towards the end of the game there. We lost 24-17 there. Then we had to go on the road and play the New York Jets, which we escaped barely. I mean, Jets threw a Hail Mary, and Randall Cobb could have caught that ball, just went through his hands. Patriots won 15-10 there. Really, they should have been 0-3, realistically. And then in week 4, we played the Dallas Cowboys, went down to Dallas, and got absolutely blown out, 38-3. So my point is, as a fan, I went into this season thinking, okay, the first 4 weeks, if the Patriots want to have any sort of shot of potentially making the playoffs, I said we have to either be 500 or better. We have to be 2-2 or 3-1 the first 4 weeks. That didn't happen. We went 1-3. The Dallas Cowboy game that basically just ended the season there because the way Mac Jones looked in that game, he played terrible. I mean, you seen in that game, his foot mechanics were just all out of whack. Dallas Cowboys they just did what they wanted to do offensively and defensively throughout that entire game. They just had no answers, and stuff like that. Mac Jones had a terrible game. He had like at least 3 interceptions or not 3 interceptions, but he had a lot of turnovers in that game, which basically the game was over at halftime. Let's just be real. And then Bill Belichick after that game talked about, what Patriots have to start over. We have to start over. And the people in the press were asking, well, what do you mean by starting over? And he just kept saying starting over. And then as a fan perspective, which I'm a Patriots fan, I didn't really understand what he meant by that either. I mean, he said starting over. Do you mean is there going to be a trade that's going to happen? Are you going to try to blow this whole thing up and start fresh? Like, what do you mean by starting over? So whatever Bill Belichick, I didn't know what he meant by that. But at the end of the day, the very next week we ended up losing to the Saints at home, got shut out 34-0, and it was just a bad year. I mean, like I said, Patriots just struggled offensively throughout the entire season. We got a few good wins. I mean, we beat the Buffalo Bills. We scored 29 points, which is probably the most points we scored all season long. Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't a good year. I mean, this is one of the worst teams I've been a part of in terms of, overall record. I mean, I've pretty much been a part of really good Patriots teams over the years, and this was definitely the worst team that I've been a part of or I've witnessed as a Patriots fan. You know, we got a top 3 pick, obviously. This is uncharted territory. As a Patriots fan, we've experienced nothing but success over the past 2 decades, and then now we're in new times right now. And like I keep saying, the reason why we were 4-13, like I said, anemic offense. Our defense was great. We were a top 8 defense in the league. Okay, even without Judon and without Christian Gonzalez, which that obviously knows too. I mean, you can look at the injuries and stuff like that. Patriots dealt with a crap ton of injuries throughout the season. That was part in the reason why we finished 4-13. But like at the end of the day, we were in most of these games. It was just mostly we just shot ourselves in the foot in a lot of these games, especially in that Eagles game where Booty didn't get his feet in bounds. If you would just get your feet in bounds, Patriots probably would have won that game. The Dolphins game, it came down to literally inches. It was like a 4th and 8 or whatever, and because Zicky caught the ball, threw the ball back to Cole Strange, who caught the ball and I thought he got the first down. I couldn't really tell because there was a big pile there. I thought he got the first down and he was inches short. Like just stuff like that. I mean, we were in a lot of these games. We just weren't able to finish because obviously we just lacked the talent offensively and stuff like that. And that's all on Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is the reason why the Patriots are where they are. in terms of where we are without Tom Brady. I mean, you look at Tom Brady. Now you can say whatever you want about Tom Brady if he was the main reason for the Patriots' success, but like in my opinion, Bill Belichick make Tom Brady better. Tom Brady wouldn't be the quarterback that he was in New England without Bill Belichick. Okay, and Bill Belichick wouldn't be the coach that he is without Tom Brady. They both need each other. Without those two guys working together, the six Super Bowls wouldn't happen. Okay, that six Super Bowls wouldn't have happened at the end of the day. Okay, so that's where I am with them. I mean, like I said, I just giving you guys the records over the past 5 years because from really from 2021 to right now, it's just been a tremendous decline. I mean, I thought after the 2021 season, I thought with Mac Jones and this Patriots team would continue to get better and better and better. And like I said, it's been the opposite way. And like I said, watching the press conference today, I mean, Robert Kraft decided to pull the plug. I mean, you have to give him credit too because it's not easy to part ways with someone that you've been with for 24 years. I mean, dude, 24 years. I mean, that's over. I mean, that's a long time for Bill Belichick to be with one team to be able to have that level of sustained success the way the Patriots had, and it's just amazing. Like I said, like I don't take anything for granted. I'm very lucky to have witnessed those Super Bowls and stuff like that. But like I said, we're in new times now. We're in the new AFC, and this need to happen. Maybe this is what's best for the Patriots going forward. If the Patriots want to get back to contention next year or within the next couple of years, they've had to make this move, and I'm glad that they made this move. Obviously, I'm going to miss Bill Belichick. There's not going to be he's the best coach of all time. There's no question about that. Not as GM, him as a coach. He's the best coach of all time. Let's get that straight. Okay. But like I said, wherever Bill Belichick goes, the team is going to be very lucky to have his services because of his past success. And obviously, as a Patriots fan, we don't know what to expect right now. Obviously, Mike Vrabel, Gerard Mayo are in the run for head coach. So we'll see what happens there. Nothing's obviously official yet. But as a Patriots fan, this is a new team, and we're going to start a new era here. So I'm very excited what the Patriots do in the draft and in free agency, and hopefully next year we can get back into this thing. Because, like I said, I'm very eager to get back to the playoffs next year if everything plays out right for this team in the draft and free agency and all that stuff. So I'm excited. And like I said, I'm excited to see where Bill Belichick ends up, and we'll see if he can take whoever team he ends up with to the Super Bowl, possibly. So I just think Bill Belichick needs to be somewhere where there's an established quarterback and stuff like that. And that's just, I think, especially after the year he's had this year, I don't think he wants to be a part of another team where they're in a full rebuild or they're just bad. I think he needs to, with his age and where he's at in his coaching career, I think he needs to be somewhere where he can win. So that's what I think. So let's move on here. Potential destinations for Bill Belichick. I have four teams in mind, so let's start with the first one. First team, I have the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, the reason why I bring them up, obviously, because they've been in a lot of rumors to get Bill Belichick. Obviously, they're near the top of the destination list. This is the team right now that has the number 2 overall pick. You have Sam Howell as your quarterback. Sam Howell as your quarterback, and I don't know if Bill Belichick, like I said, if he ends up with the Commanders, do you build around Sam Howell? Do you get a new quarterback in the draft, which they probably will do? They probably will get either Caleb Williams or maybe Drake May or someone like that in the draft. Does Bill Belichick want to be a part of a rebuild? Because, like I said, Commanders, I think is a good fit, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that the Commanders are going to be good next year just because you have Bill Belichick in the room. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take time, obviously, to build that chemistry with your players, to get an identity. Obviously, the Commanders struggled with an identity all season long. So maybe getting Bill Belichick, maybe he can change the culture there. Maybe he can speed up the rebuild process But like I said, either way, if he ends up there, it's gonna take time for the Commanders to get into contention. So, but like I said, this is one of the teams where Bill Belichick could end up if the Commanders decide to go that direction. Next team out, the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, this is another team that's been in Bill Belichick's sweepstakes. You look at this Chargers team on paper, the roster is one of the best in football. The problem with them is Brandon Staley was their coach, and he just wasn't the right fit with the Chargers. And I think Bill Belichick would be a perfect fit there, in my opinion. You're in the AFC. You have Justin Herbert as your quarterback, who's probably a top 5 quarterback in this league. You look at the Chargers, they were in a lot of one-score games. Bill Belichick is the one who is all about fundamentals, doing your job, making the little plays, and stuff like that. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Chargers. And like I said, if he ends up there with the talent that the Chargers already have, I mean, it's a shame that Brandon Staley just couldn't do anything with this team, and the Chargers couldn't. This should have been a playoff team this year. Bill Belichick was on that team, they would be an automatic playoff team. No questions asked, no questions about that. Especially with all the talent that they have on both the defense and the offense. They're just missing that coach, and I think Bill Belichick could possibly put the Chargers over the hump if he ends up going out west there. So we'll see what happens. But this is one of the teams I think he should go to. This is the best opportunity for him to try to win um, potential Super Bowl or go deep in the playoffs or whatever you want to call it. Next team out, the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, this is one of the teams that's towards the bottom of my list. I don't really see Bill Belichick going there, but it's obviously a team that's in the rumors to get him. The only reason I bring them up is because they're in the weak NFC South um, and stuff like that. Obviously, they were a team that was in the mix for the playoffs. They just got rid of Arthur Smith right after that game against the Saints, getting blown out the way they did, and then they fired Arthur Smith right after that game. So Bill Belichick ended up there. Obviously, you're in the weak division. You have nice young pieces like Bijan Robinson, running back. I still have questions a little bit with the quarterback. I don't know if Desmond Ritter is the guy. Honestly, I mean, if you watched him throughout the season, he had flashes, but there were times where he just made poor decisions with the football. Bill Belichick ends up going there. Do you start him at quarterback next year? Do you make Taylor Heineke your starter next year, or do you go in a different direction and get another quarterback? Maybe get someone more of like a veteran type quarterback that can come in and maybe start and have that rookie or have that quarterback Desmond Ritter sit behind that veteran quarterback and maybe learn for a year or two. I don't know what the direction of the Falcons is. Like I said, I'm not a Falcons fan. I'm just speculating, throwing things out there. But if Bill Belichick ends up with the Falcons, like I said, you're in the weak. I mean, you could obviously win that division. You're in the weak division. It's the weakest division in football. So, but like I said, it's toward the bottom of my list. I just don't see Bill Belichick going to Atlanta. I just don't think it's a necessarily right fit. But they're definitely a team that's in the mix to get him. So we'll see what happens there. And my last team, some of you guys might be a little surprised with this, but I got the Dallas Cowboys in the mix. Now, some of you guys might be like, oh, well, why would he go to the Dallas Cowboys? They already have Mike McCarthy running the helm there. Well, the thing is that Mike McCarthy is not necessarily safe with his job. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, look at the season that they've had this year. They're the number 2 seed in the NFC. Okay. You have 2 potential home playoff games, right? This is the Cowboys' best opportunity and best shot to get to the Super Bowl. Like they literally have no excuses this year to not get to the Super Bowl. At least get to the NFC title game. I mean, if Mike McCarthy doesn't exceed any of those expectations, I can see Jerry Jones. Like I said, I can see Mike McCarthy being fired at the end of the season if they somehow get upset by the Packers this weekend. I can see Jerry Jones pulling the plug and letting him go and bringing in Bill Belichick. I mean, if you guys know Jerry Jones well enough, if you're a Cowboys fan, Jerry Jones is all about expectations, high expectations. He's all about putting a good winning product on the football field and bringing in the best coach that's going to get the best out of his players. Bill Belichick, obviously, I think he fits in. He would fit in perfectly with the Dallas Cowboys, especially with the defense that they have with Micah Parsons and all the pieces they got on that end. You have Dak Prescott and all the pieces you have on offense, right? I mean, Bill Belichick would step in, and I think this might be the missing piece for Dallas. I mean, like I said, Mike McCarthy's a good coach, but like we've seen him, he's made some poor decisions at the end of the games. I mean, you watch that 49ers game a few years ago when the Dallas Cowboys were the number 3 seed. Dak Prescott does a quarterback sneak. Cowboys have no timeouts, and then they tried to spike the ball and time ran out. Like Bill Belichick wouldn't have done that. Bill Belichick's all about doing your job. He's all about fundamentals, doing the little things for your team, doing your job. That's all he's about. And you bring him into Dallas, I think this is what might get Dallas over the hump, get them to the Super Bowl. I think Bill Belichick can do it with his coaching, with his mastermind. Like I said, I think he's a way better coach than Mike McCarthy, in my opinion. So you bring him into Dallas, like I said, like who knows? Dallas could be in the Super Bowl next year or two if we bring in Bill Belichick. And like I said, this is one of my dark horses to get Bill Belichick, just because, like I said, Dallas is they don't waste any time. Like I said, they're all about winning, and like I said, Jerry Jones. It would not surprise me at all if somehow the Cowboys end up losing in the first round of the Green Bay, that Mike McCarthy loses his job and they bring in Bill Belichick. I mean, like I keep saying with Bill Belichick, the type of year that he had here in New England, I don't think he's going to want to be a part of another losing season. I think he wants to go somewhere where he can win. And out of these 4 teams, I think the Chargers and the Cowboys are his two best choices to potential win the Super Bowl. Like I said, Chargers, you have Justin Herbert, and then Dallas, you have Dak Prescott. I mean, those are 2 winning programs right now. I mean, the Chargers obviously didn't make the playoffs, but like I said, they were just missing. They didn't have the right coach. You bring in Bill Belichick to run the Chargers, you're a playoff team next year, and you're a Super Bowl contender next year. Same with the Dallas Cowboys. So those are my 4 teams: the Commanders, the Chargers, the Falcons, and the Cowboys for potential destinations for Bill Belichick to go to in 2024. Now I'll do it for this video. If you guys continue to like my content, you guys already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the game this weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.